this is where I do wonder, as classical educators, if there might be a kind of prophetic work that we are engaged in that attempts to see beyond and not bow down to kind of what all the urgency seems to be. And it's a very delicate balance. Like, what is that balance between, okay, everyone may be saying that this is, you have to do it this way, that you've got to give into the technology. How do we, or can we, walk, a very delicate balance, a very delicate line of saying, I draw this line in terms of what I'm willing to give my children over to, and that may mean, getting back to the costs, Brian, that may mean we may pay a certain cost in the job market, or let's just bring it back to college admissions, because there's this very, what if it is the case that the people who are using, the students who are using AI, are doing better on all the college entry exams, or they're doing better, getting better grades, or whatever it might be. At what point do we say, okay, but we are concerned about formation and virtue, and we are going to hold the line on that, and there may be some other kind of cost, but on the other hand, do we want to throw our children into this particular kind of rat race with, kind of techno-fundamentalism? And that's not an easy question to answer, especially for me as a parent. I have a daughter who's second year at UVA studying classics, right? So I haven't pushed her into the commerce school, which is where everyone's trying to get into, So professors are not making lots of money, so it's not like I've got something for her to fall back on, if the classics thing doesn't pan out. But there's a certain amount of faith I have that this is an important, enriching area of study. She's been interested in academia. Can't tell you what that job market is like these days. But if I were to say, you know what, maybe you should, go to the comm school, like there's a part of me that's like, we're just gonna have to pay whatever that price is and have a little bit of faith. I wonder what that looks like for classical educators in terms of navigating the waters of AI, what we're willing to take, what we're not willing to take, to what extent we're willing to be driven by the market. And I suspect it would mean cultivating some alternative frameworks, opportunities, job markets, entrepreneurial pursuits, because thinking as a sociologist, social structures are real, right? Social structural foundations will railroad you one way versus another way. And if you don't have the alternatives, then people get carried along by, kind of what the society has already structured. So that's not a pro or anti-AI. It's a question about, what prices are we willing to pay on what end as we think about this as educators?